We were in a mountain valley in spring. Still cold, but the sky was clear. Nearly 200 of us had gathered for a new LARP game. We were supposed to be refugees from a nearby city after an alien invasion. Lots of veteran players were there, costumes looking impeccable. If I didn't know better, I'd say they'd actually survived a war with aliens. The main trail through camp ran in a large circle up the northern side of the valley. Campsites scattered around off the trail. To the south, on the other side of the valley, was a small cave entrance. We'd been informed this cave would act as our resistance HQ for the weekend. Only those designated as officers would be allowed in without an invitation. Officers had been pre-selected via online lottery. Everyone else was randomly given a job when they arrived on site. Refugees, enlisted, etc. I was a sergeant. This meant I was allowed a gun from the start. I was never a good modder, so mine was still in the stock blue and orange paint job. There were some amazing guns and swords, though. Almost looked real. The first day in game was a little boring. The officers were deliberating on a plan of action, how to strike back at the aliens, while we enlisted showed the refugees around site. There were a lot of confused looks early on. I could hear the out-of-game conversations. People were expecting a little more action from an alien invasion scenario. Then, we heard the shriek. By the time I got there, there was already a crowd gathering. There was a dead body. Excellent, I thought. We're finally getting into the story. Then I noticed something. There were scorch marks on the guy's chest. I could still see it smoking. Damn, those were some good effects. Then someone said the guy was dead. Of course. That's the game, I thought. Then he reiterated, more panic in his voice. No, for real. This isn't part of the game. This guy is really dead. Some of us took a closer look, called for a medic and someone to contact the authorities. One of the in-game medics showed up. No, we said. A real doctor. He quipped about how he was a real doctor, so we let him go about his business. Those of us who had been responding to the situation noticed strange looks on the other players' faces. It looked like they didn't feel anything. Someone started going on about how aliens had already infiltrated the camp. We were still trying to get someone in charge to call for an ambulance or the cops. We were met with comments about how they were gone. Killed by the aliens when the city was bombed. They were serious. This was supposed to be a game, but they were acting like this was real life. The small group of us who remembered this started out as a game were trying to convince others. No one believed us. Finally, word of us got to the officers. They decided we were causing a panic with our psychotic rantings. They wanted us quiet. For good. They sent orders for us to be killed. We went into hiding, but it didn't last long. Not with the entire camp against us. I saw one man get sliced in half with what was supposed to be a foam sword. They were just LARP weapons, but somehow they were killing us. Finally, it was down to 2 of us. We decided to make our way to the front gate on the east side of camp. We were spotted and had to run, a mob chasing us. He got there before I did, and was immediately shot down by the military who had started to arrive. God, what's happening now? I was able to hide behind a tent before they saw me. I got lucky. The mob focused on the army instead of me. They tried to approach, only to be told that they would be shot. Apparently this was an alien training camp where we were all considered enemy combatants. Without another word, the army opened fire on the mob. I was able to sneak into the bushes and make my way south. The cave felt like my only escape. When I got there, it was empty. The officers were gone, hunting those of us who knew this used to be a game, or fighting the army. I didn't know. I didn't care. I made my way in as quietly as I could, not wanting to risk detection in case there was someone left inside. Near the back of the HQ was a set of tunnels. Even without knowing where they went, they were my only hope. All that was on my mind as I entered the dark cave was fear and confusion, wondering what the fuck had happened here.